hour.
I think.
Call in by clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma.
Yeah. Woo! Woke up with a vision, it's Professor Bear's day. Ruling the game, coming hard, paving his way. Thoughtful and smart, yeah, the wisdom of math. In a world full of shadows, he's breaking the cast.
Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining me tonight. I am Professor Bear, and this is a Bear's Thought. And for anyone who knows Professor Bear, there are two things that you know about me in professional wrestling. One, I hate Hulk Hogan. Two, I love tag team wrestling. It is one of my favorite things about wrestling. So I am blessed and very grateful to have two gentlemen here today. Great tag team. We have the original Pitbull, Gary Wolf, and Pitbull number 3, Chris Adams. Gentlemen, how are y'all doing today?
Good, man. How's it going, brother?
Doing good. Doing good.
Doing great. Well, one of the things that I would love to start off with is I always want to give thanks to the wrestlers, because if it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't get a chance to do what I love. That is talk about wrestling, watch wrestling. So thank you very much. With that being said, gentlemen.
No problem, brother.
Tell me. Well, let's start like this. Mr. Wolf, I heard that you have a book out.
Yes, I do. It's called let me see. Actually, it came out November 3rd. We debuted it in Philadelphia. It's called Pitbull Unleashed. You can get it on Amazon, Prime, Walmart, any bookstore, Barnes and Noble. It tells the story of me and my partner, Anthony Durante, starting out at a very, very young age of 19 in professional wrestling, and then goes through our whole history. Anthony passing away, me finding Chris Annino, who is now Pitbull 3, and we're bringing back the Pitbulls because we are one hell of a fucking tag team.
I love to hear it. So my question is, what was the what was the thing that made you decide Chris was going to be the next pit bull?
Well, it was very difficult because in 2003, my partner died. So from then to now, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many wrestlers wanted to tag up with me. But to do our gimmick and be vicious, have quickness, agility, and strength. And if we're saying we're pit bulls, what are pit bulls? They're bad motherfuckers, period. So I started working with Chris, found out the guy's a fucking power lifter, okay? Breaks records. Plus he's 300 pounds. My other Anthony was 280. Chris is also very agile, and he wanted to do it. So I told him, show me how bad you want to do it. And I couldn't believe it. He did it. I mean, he went to so many different schools. I even trained him. He went to Boogie Woogie school. He went to so many schools so he would get, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well versed, I think.
Yeah, well versed in all styles, because that's how the pit bulls were. We were able to wrestle Japanese style, American style, Mexican style, you name it, hardcore style. You name the style of wrestling, we can adapt to it. So that's what I needed, and Chris fit that bill.
That's great to hear. So, Chris, what was going through your mind when Gary blessed you with becoming his tag team partner?
It's still sinking in. I don't. It's very new. I'm still digesting it all. I think it's a wonderful, amazing honor. Um, it's there's also a flip side to it. You know, I miss Anthony just as much as he does. So it's kind of it's almost like a bittersweet thing. You know, I made an analogy on the Monty and the Pharaoh show when I said something to the effect of, you know, it's like you like the Beatles, and then they're asking you to play lead guitar, but you're a big George Harrison fan. It's kind of a it's mixed, but I'm very grateful for it, though.
Definitely can understand. Do you feel like this is for both of y'all? Do y'all feel like it's any pressure to live up to the Pitbull name, or do you feel like you all are gonna blaze another trail for the Pitbulls?
Here's what it comes down to. You're a tag team, you know, you love tag teams, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, how bad have tag teams looked? As far as psychology.
Psychology has been pretty crappy, to be honest.
I mean, when you have a tag team match, you have to tell a story.
Yes, sir.
You understand? And all these young kids today, all they are worried about is high spots, flip, flop. You know, there's more gymnastics than wrestling. See, I want to punch you in the fucking mouth. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm a pit bull. Okay. yeah, I could jump and flip and do shit like that, but the Pitbull, even as a heel or a baby face, we still wrestle the same way. Vicious. And I think
Rest.
today's tag teams are not really wrestling to their gimmicks. Put it that way. Except the Young Bucks. I think they're very, very talented.
And to add to that, I really think a lot of the NWA tag teams are very good too. They just had the Crockett Cup, and I was very impressed with what they did because they're going back to what it was, and two hard hitting guys against two other hard hitting guys. It's Taco Bell ingredients. It's so easy, but people complicate it by throwing in like we're going to throw these 35 moves. Doesn't make sense. But
I definitely
how he
understand.
changed? I mean, yeah. I
Go
mean, your
ahead. I'm
original
sorry.
question was no. It's all right. Your original question was how we're going to adapt, or we're just. It's the Pitbulls are always going to be the Pitbulls. Okay, I'm not going to change it in any way. I'm going to adhere to what that style is because that's ironically my style. Maybe we mix a little bit of Freebirds in there, okay? But that's what we're gonna just do. We're just gonna knock the shit out of people out. That's it. I give them lariats. I've not seen a good lariat in a long time, and that's what doesn't make sense to me. Why can't anyone throw a lariat or throw a good drop kick? What happened to those moves?
Right. Your basic, again, like Gary said, to tell a story. And I found it ironic that y'all are mentioning this when I just went to a Joe Kazana promotion match and the World Tag Team Champions were there. And it was a three-way dance. And when I tell you it was the best thing on the card because it was hitting.
Yeah.
They were just straight hitting. It was basic. You didn't need a lot, but it was just amazing because they gave their style of three men breaking off into fights. Once one went down, they went to jump another. It was just very basic, but it was so entrenched that people loved it. And
Yeah. Plus, you have to, a lot of tag teams rush. They do one double team and then they go and do another double team in like 2 seconds. You have to like pace yourself. You have to let the people register what you guys just did.
And
It's also
I,
just to add to, yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add to that. I mean, realistically, would you do that in a legit fight? No, a lot of these guys aren't street fighters either. A lot of these guys never been in a fight. Like some of my favorite tag teams right now, the Rock and Roll Express is still amazing now, hands down.
Hell yeah.
His son's now in. Hell yeah. The Fixers are good. Those guys are two hard-hitting guys. I wouldn't want to mess with Wrecking Ball. One club, man. You're done. But
Yeah,
that's what you need now.
And I think for me, because I've been watching wrestling for over 40 something years, and not that I'm an expert in no way, never claimed to be, but from what I've seen and the different styles and different things, there has to be a balance between the old and new. And a lot of times, like y'all said, that people want to rush. They want to get their spots in and don't know how to tell a story that gets you invested into the match. So,
it's like life imitates.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's correct.
It's like this. Life Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
Like
And
just say for instance, me and Chris do a double spot. Okay, we're not gonna pick the guy up right away and do another move. We want the people to absorb what we just did.
exactly.
Right, and it also goes back. It goes back to method too. So like like I say a method actor, right? A method actor, maybe someone like Leonardo DiCaprio or something, lives that part, right, and knows what that feels like, right? We've already been in legit fights, so like a lot of these kids that are out there have never been in a fight before. They go on the keyboard and fight, but they've never had a one-to-one and broken their nose or anything like that. They've never had that. They don't know what that is. So, like what Gary was saying, like the transitional moves in between, they don't understand that you have to be in legit real life. You have to have a transitional move in between. You know, that's
So
it.
you
Just
hit,
is what it
yeah,
is.
just like Chris says, you hit him with a vicious move. The, the fans pop. You wait.
Yep.
You do a little transition move, so they still are absorbing it, and then we do another big double spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I tell you, just watching y'all and listening to you now, you can tell y'all are a tag team because y'all are fluent with one talks, the other one jumps in. Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, that these things help create great tag teams. It's not just in-ring performance, it's how you mesh together in interviews, in your psychology. And I'm glad to be in front of y'all, seeing how y'all work together just naturally.
Yeah, it's
Thank you. Thank you.
we wait, and we read. That's the thing. Is we read each other. So it's
Like I could look
that's another.
at Chris and I know what he's thinking. He looks at me and he knows what I'm thinking. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And every time we do a tag match, like I did with my last partner, we added another double team move. So we had so many of them. And nobody got tired of seeing the same, moves.
uh, I can't say anything else. That's just great. That's if you are a fan, if you are just starting wrestling, listen to these gems that these gentlemen are giving y'all. It's just
Right.
simple. It's very simple but elegant.
I've been in the business almost 40 years. I am a tag team specialist. Also, I can wrestle singles. And that's what Chris is the same way. So, I mean, all these tag teams that are out there today, you better watch out, man. We're taking over. Pitbulls, 1 and 3,
Yes.
13, Devil. We're coming back, bro. And nobody's gonna stop us.
So, what is your immediate goal for in the wrestling business? What are y'all going after?
We're going after every belt we can get. Every
Yeah.
time a company
Hardware.
sees us work together, they're gonna be like, holy shit. Okay? Because look at these tag teams. They're so small. I mean, do
I
they
know.
know
Thank
what
you,
a
Jim.
gym is? You understand? He's 300 pounds. Okay. I'm 225 pounds. Okay, we're animals. These little guys have no chance. The Pitbulls are returning, and we're taking over.
So I love it. But I want to get into a little different part of the wrestling business of something that I've heard and was told is that we have more Hall of Fames out there. Now, as far as I think I do a lot of research and stuff, but I'm ashamed to admit that I did not know there was a women's wrestling Hall of Fame.
Tell them about that, Chris.
Yeah. So it's an interesting story behind that. We've been shooting a film for the past 20 years about the complete history of women's wrestling. It's myself, Angel Orsini, Gary, Jazz, Susan Tex Green. We've been all shooting this thing. And I realized as I was interviewing all these amazing female wrestlers and valets and managers that they've not been justified in our sport. Vince has never honored Jazz. Vince has never honored Leilani Kai. That he never honored any of these other amazing women in his Hall of Fame. And it goes for also the other Hall of Fame in New York. They haven't honored these women either. They'll honor Trish Stratus, and we need to put her in before Leilani Kai. No. Leilani Kai deserves to be in every single Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, bottom line. Bottom line. Phenomenal worker. Same as Susan Tex Green. Same as any of these other women that really paved the way. And back then they were shooters. Okay. It wasn't this
Hell
wimpy
yeah.
stuff.
Those women
Now
were tough women.
now we created this based on the documentary shot we were shooting called Circle of Champions. And that started about 4 years ago. And Gary inducted the first person. It was at the ECW Arena. We made Yahoo News, and our first induction was at the ECW Arena. We inducted Luna, we inducted Medusa, and we inducted Jazz. And all three were inducted at that ECW Arena. Now, as for the Tag Team Hall of Fame, both me and Gary are co-founders of that as well. We saw another injustice that, again, WWE neglects tag teams. You had the greatest tag teams ever in the 80s, 90s. You had Demolition. You had the Killer Bees. You had Doom. Doom was phenomenal. I don't even know why.
British Bulldogs.
British Bulldogs, right? Heart Foundation. There's so many that I can keep going on and on, but they've never like
Powers of
Demolition,
Pain. Rougeau
Freebirds,
brothers.
Freebirds, Von Erichs. So to me, they've never gotten the acknowledgement they deserved, especially because WWE took over everything. And I'm not trying to knock them now, but it's kind of like, why would you put them on the back shelf? That's a whole different style in art that's now lost. The I forgot, but they're like 10-time tag team champions, and they're the same people over and over that they put in there. You know, so again, they kind of neglect the tag team division. So that's why we created the Tag Team Hall of Fame. Rock and Roll Express deserves to be in there, and eventually we will induct them in the Tag Team Hall of Fame. So far, we inducted Demolition. So far, we
Many,
inducted the King.
many tag teams belong in there. Many.
The one thing that, again, me being a big 80s kid and growing up and watching tag team wrestling and loving it, but there's any wrestler has a dance partner, and
Yeah.
one wrestler tag team, groups, whatever, cannot do it without another group, tag team, individual. As much as I love and respect the rock and roll, uh, I
Express.
love them. Rock and Roll Express. Thank you. I love them, but no, but how in the hell do you have the Rock and Roll Express without the Midnight Express?
Yeah. It should be in there too.
Absolutely.
Bobby
I
Eaton.
mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and I get that a lot of wrestling is politics, and we all have different um, criterias for what we find to where people should be in the Hall of Fame. But I just
Well, don't
think it's
forget
a
the
crime.
kangaroos that you mentioned before. Remember the kangaroos you had mentioned? They
Yeah,
deserve to be in, like you had said. Absolutely.
exactly. I mean, there's
You,
so
you
many tag teams that a lot of people have never heard of that help pave the way for tag team wrestling. I mean, and I guess in my thinking process, it's not that I mind that you can have a different thought in who you think could go in there, but sometimes I like to know what is the criteria of what teams or person goes into a Hall of Fame. And I think that is something lost that a lot of fans would like to know and be a part of. Like, hey, you may not have known about these guys, but this is their track record and may educate us, because no matter how long you've been in professional wrestling, you always can learn something.
Listen, every
that's
time I
yeah.
wrestle and I go back to the locker room, I say to myself, I learned something tonight. And that's
Yeah.
no lie. Believe me. Every time you wrestle, you learn something new.
Just like
Well,
any
it's
other.
like our biggest thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, our biggest thing with the yeah, Hall of Fame is to preserve the history, and we do have extended thing with the history. It's preserve and to promote. So, like, I'll give an example for the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. Let's just say somebody didn't have a long career. Okay, so look at what the impact was on that. I'll give an example. Mad Maxine did not have a long career at all. Okay, but she had the impact because if it wasn't for Mad Maxine, there would be no Rhea Ripley right now, because that's the iconic version of what Rhea Ripley now is. Now, this is what we also have. Say someone like, okay, so a tag team. Let's go with a tag team that was shortly lived. Okay, give me a tag team, Gary. What would you think? Like a shortly lived tag team, but impactful.
Guys or girls?
Uh, Go girls, like maybe Glamour Girls. You thinking? They were only like
Uh,
4 years in.
yeah, that's it. But they
Yeah,
impacted the
so
business well.
they did. See, and they were the last to go with the women's tag team straps. They almost kept going until Vince supposedly and Moolah sabotaged that, from what we were told. Now, someone like them deserved to be in the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame and the Tag Team Hall of Fame. The Glamour Girls, Judy Martin, Leilani Kai, they're phenomenal, and they should be in.
And don't
Princess Victoria, and Velvet McIntyre, another good tag team. They're great and
they
great
don't get
wrestlers.
their
Uh,
due.
no, they don't. And they deserve better. They deserve way better. They deserve action figure deals. They deserve merchandise deals, and they don't get it. Like Princess Victoria, she only wrestled for like maybe 4, maybe 5 years, and her career was cut short, unfortunately. she was a great wrestler. She had great matches against Wendy Richter. I mean, I think they were going to have her become the next big thing. But, you know, I wish they gave her more. And they didn't give her an action figure deal, no t-shirts. Jazz didn't never had any merchandise.
Jazz didn't
So
even have a action figure.
Which is
she still
ridiculous.
doesn't.
Which is fucking
So
ridiculous.
Yes, it's hard.
No, it is.
It's fucked up, man.
And it's
But
upsetting, I know.
and that's why I'm very grateful and glad that y'all are making sure that the history is there, because one thing about history too is, depending on who tell it, if the history is true or not. And what's that
Right.
most saying? The winners tell the history. It may not be right.
Right. History's
Yeah.
told by the victors. Yeah.
Yes. And I think there are so many different people that deserve praise and recognition for the work they've did, because as I tell anybody, for every Hulk Hogan, there was 20 jobbers that made Hulk Hogan who he was, that never get their just due.
Oh,
Harley
absolutely.
Race as well.
Exactly.
Harley Race was so good.
He was amazing, man. Amazing.
One of the best NWA champions of all time. But again, if you don't know your history, you don't know about Harley Race, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You don't know about Harley
And
Race.
back
you
to
don't know
tag
about-
teams, you know, you got the Steiner brothers, the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, that, like Chris said, Demolition. When I was a kid and Demolition first came out, I was like, oh my God.
See, there's that, and also someone like Mike Rotundo, who's in IRS, and he was in a couple other tag
yes.
teams too.
Well, him and Barry Windham, him and Dr. Death Steve Williams, and I could go on and on. But and I can tell you, the tag team that changed wrestling for me personally, I love the Road Warriors. Like most kids my age, love the Road Warriors. But it was another tag team that made me see wrestling so differently and understand so much more, was Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
The Brain Busters, absolutely. They were amazing. And the Pitbulls wrestled them. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I mean, it's harder to wrestle a tag team match than a singles match. It takes more skill.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. It is one of the amazing things that I love about wrestling too, is no matter whether you are a casual fan or you're a historian or you like the flips and stuff or you like the psychological, the one thing about wrestling is that we love it. And there is so much out there that if you would just take the second to dive into it, you can find so many different things that you didn't know and learn your history. Like we talking about different.
How about the Guerrero brothers?
Exactly.
Amazing tag team. Pitbulls wrestled them.
Too.
The Valiant brothers.
And one thing I love that is almost a lost art style is managing. Captain Lou Albano.
He's the man.
Managed so many tag teams, and you the wizard, the Grand Wizard. Most people don't even know who the Grand Wizard is.
Isn't that
Go back
crazy,
to
bro?
Lou for go back to Lou for a second though. We can't forget the one most famous tag team, Wild Samoans.
Oh yes.
Jeez,
And
yeah.
the Pitbull, the Wild Samoans helped us out so much because they liked us. And remember, we were from New Jersey. And when they get booked on a show, the booker would say, "Who do you want to work? What tag team?" And
Right.
all the time, the Samoans said the Pitbulls.
Correct.
And I mean, they helped us out tremendously. Kevin Sullivan, King Curtis, Don Morocco. You know, they went out of their way to help us and be a better tag team. The British Bulldogs. You would think they would hate us, right? At first, they didn't like us. We wrestled them one night in New Zealand in front of 55,000 people. The next day, with no finish, they told Larry Sharp, "We're going to call the finish out there so we could see if they could work." And we said, "Hey, I flew 33 hours to wrestle 2 weeks. I'm doing it. I don't give a shit." And the next morning, the British Bulldogs got me and my partner, brought them in their room, and drank all day because they were so happy that they're going to have 2 weeks of great work.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. So, gentlemen, I want to first off again thank y'all for doing my show. I appreciate it so much. Second of all, you both of y'all have an open invitation. Anytime you would love to come on, I'll be glad to have you.
Thanks.
And Chris, if you have anything else to say, feel free, brother.
Yeah, man. So basically, same goes for us too, man. Consider you a friend of the Pitbulls, there, Professor. Anything you need from us too, consider it done. You're helping us a great deal, and we're just very thankful to have this opportunity to be on your show.
And we're going to be coming out with T-shirts that say the Pitbulls, pictures in the front, in the back. It's going to be like a football jersey. Pitbulls 13.
Nice.
I think that's badass. And 13 says it all, man. We're bad ass people.
Well, and there's going to be a couple goodies that are going to be happening too, there, Professor, and we'll give you a hint on one of them. There's this amazing human being. Her name is Missy Hyatt, and it looks like she might be managing a certain tag team that might be returning. And
Tell him, brother. Tell him, brother.
Missy Hyatt was one of the original managers for the Pitbulls, and the Pitbulls were in NWA. And so it looks as though she's going to be managing us again.
We were
So,
USA tag team champions, and
for
Missy
NWA.
Hyatt for NWA, and Missy Hyatt managed us, and she's going to be managing us again. So
that's great.
Correct.
So people,
And
I'm telling you, tag teams, you better watch out, man. Especially you young boys. Because we've been around a long time. And we have moves that you never even heard of.
That's great to hear. Guys, do y'all want to plug your site, your books, the Hall of
Uh,
Fame? Do it all, gentlemen.
Go ahead,
why don't you
Chris,
plug your
man.
book, Gary?
All
I'll
right,
plug the
it's
web.
called
We're on.
it's called
Go ahead.
it's
Go ahead.
called the Pitbull Unleashed. You can get it anywhere: Amazon, Prime, Walmart.com. Uh, Last time I was looked, I was number 8 in wrestling books. We're number 49 out of all sports.
Oh wow.
Okay, all sports, football,
Yeah.
everything. Okay, and go ahead, Chris. Tell them what else.
No, that's very good. So we got Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame website. We got the Tag Team Hall of Fame website. You can follow the Pitbulls on Facebook. We got our fan page there, and we just signed a deal with Yakuza TV, Heidi Waters, and I believe Angel Orsini. They're going to be directing the Pitbulls documentary. We already had people like Tommy Dreamer in there. We got Sandman's going to be in there. Francine.
Too, too
Um,
cold, Scorpio.
Too Cold Scorpio, Shane Douglas. Nunzio's going to be in it as well.
You name them, they're in it.
Right. Raven's in it too. Raven's in it.
Yeah, you name the wrestler, they're in it. The Road Dog, Billy Gunn, they all respect the Pitbulls.
So I have one last question for you.
Sure.
With your shirt, has Taz started anything and told you not to use 13?
Oh, fuck no. Of course not.
Taz is afraid of Gary.
Of course not.
Uh,
I'm afraid of Gary too.
Well, I was gonna, hey, and just to let y'all know, if Missy's not available and you need another manager, look, I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. I'm just saying.
Wow.
So if you need big boy, I'm a big boy.
Shit.
We'll keep you
We'll
in
call
mind.
you a
We
mastiff.
will keep you in mind.
Gentlemen, thank you so very much again. Thank you for everything you've been doing for the sports. Thank you for everything you continue to do to the sport. And hopefully we get to see y'all tag team up very, very soon. Again, thank y'all so very much.
And where are you
Thank you so
located
much, Professor
again?
Bear.
I am located in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Well, let's get the Pitbulls in Tennessee, brother.
We got to have to
Yes,
pay a
sir.
visit
We
to
were there.
Tennessee World.
We were there before because we worked for the original tag team. We worked for Jarrett and what's his name? Jerry the King Lawler. And we also did another run with Paul Jones and George Scott.
Well, and I do know a few promoters, so maybe I can help you out and we can work something out.
That'd be
That'd
great,
be
brother.
great, man. That'd be
All
great.
righty. Well, guys, thank you so very much for tuning in, and I hope that y'all enjoyed this very, very special episode. Once again, I am Professor Barrett, and this is a Barrett's Thought. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Let's catch up. Thank you so much.